What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank. Today I want to talk about that damn Ozoro festival that happened in Delta State. Okay, where some say it's a ongoing tradition. Some say it has nothing to do with tradition or culture at all. Right? Now, I have not heard of any of the almost 10 years I've been coming to Nigeria of a festival where the point is to grape women. I've never heard of it. Most Nigerians have never, ever heard of it. Okay. Now, I do understand that we have FBAs jumping on this because what they do is when they see something negative, this is their moment to say, all right, right? And they say Africa, like it's a country, once again, all right? Africa is a massive continent with thousands of different languages and hundreds, if not thousands of different cultures. Nigeria itself, even though it's one country under a federation, it's really like 36 different countries with hundreds of different types of people groups, tribe, people groups, nations, all right? So everybody in Nigeria don't know or recognize or understand what other people in Nigeria are doing. Even people who speak the same language don't exactly understand everybody who speaks the same language because the dialects have changed so much. You got to understand the diversity of Africa before you talk about Africa. Now, Delta State, right, is like a country of itself with people who are distinct from the rest of Nigeria. Now, the Ozoro Festival, right, apparently, right, was some sort of fertility festival, right? Some say it's old and ancient, right? But somehow it's got modified in modern day times to, be grape or whatnot, right? A graping festival, which makes no goddamn sense, right? To us in modern day, like who the hell in 2026 is going to have a festival for graping? That's what every Nigerian, right? They got more than 2 brain cells are saying right now. Because they're like, this is shocking. These are not Yoruba. They're not Igbo. They're not Hausa. These are not Fulani. These are not the main tribes. These are not none of the Nigerians that you that you used to seeing. These are a different group of Nigerians, right? Who most of them don't fly out of Nigeria. Right? These are a different tribe, different group. They got a different set of cultural practices and whatnot, right? So this festival is supposed to be at first it was one day, as I understand it. It was supposed to be one day at which all the men come out, and it's supposed to have something to do with fertility, right? And then all the women are supposed to be notified ahead of time not to come outside, right? And if you do come outside or whatever, you're going to be harassed, you're going to be touched upon, you're going to be prey, right? Which is terrible, by the way. Absolute, you can't get no more. Like, that's fucking terrible. And some of the women to participate in this, right? They are part of it. Now, just so you know, all the organizers have been arrested, all of them, and the more arrests are ongoing because they're looking for everybody. Like the government of Nigeria and the people of Nigeria and the king of Delta State himself are all embarrassed. They're all appalled at what's happening, right? The king himself of Delta, because you got to understand, Ozoro is a small community. It's not like, it's a small community in Delta State that practices this thing, right? And so the king flipped out. They got videos of him flipping out, right? But here's the thing. In the age of information, right, where everybody has cell phones, and I think you heard me say this before when I talk about recording in other countries, there's a time when there was no cameras, right? So nowhere was this type of information able to be, disseminated. Nobody was able to say, this is happening over here, right? But now that everybody is recording everything, now you can see everything, including the dirt, right? That's happening here in Nigeria, right? In my other video, I said there are things going on in Nigeria that I won't talk about. This wasn't one of them, all right? There was something else I was talking about. This wasn't one of them. This was a shocker, right? This is a shocker because you would think that people nowadays would be smart enough to say, that's not a festival. That's not a thing. There was no food and no parade and we going out here graping people. These were a bunch of barbaric savages. That's what these were. Barbaric savages practicing a savage, I'm not even going to call it culture because it's not culture. There's no That's not culture. What's happening? These are people using culture as an excuse to be barbaric savages. And I always tell women when they come to Nigeria, don't come by yourself. Don't go anywhere else. You got to understand, America is very safe for females. You don't understand how safe African Americans have made it safe for females. All right? Well, as safe as we can get, because we can't really talk. If you're a foundational Black American, you can't use this Ozoro festival as I got you. Because if you're a foundational American and you got rid of your African because you don't want to be called African American because you want to, but you love that American, then that means you subscribe to what Americans do. And understand, America has its own graping festivals. As a matter of fact, all of the current leaders who you all supported, right, or who you let slide in, all of them participate in Ozoro festivals of their own, right? Epstein. All right. So if you're going to use this as I got you, right? If you're going to say, oh, why y'all Pan-Africans are not talking about the Ozoro thingy or the Ozoro festival, then I can return to you. Why are you not talking about the Epstein files? Why are you not talking about all the graping that happens in your community in America? Why are you not talking about how in our community in America, women are still not safe because of Negroes thinking they can do what they want to do? As safe as America is, we have a commercialized sex trafficking conglomerate in our country, right? And they're currently running the country, right? Why didn't none of y'all talk about the 150 to 160 little girls that your mans and them's killed with a bomb? Okay? Little girls, little babies. Right? So when we start talking about got yous, right, put shit in context, because we as Americans don't have any right to talk about it. But that doesn't excuse what the hell happened in Ozoro. I want all of these dudes who participated in them to be packed up and sent to Russia to be soldiers in that war. That's what I want. I want all these dudes to be packed up and given the harshest punishment possible. I believe, me personally, I believe in a death sentence for these type of atrocities, if proven without a shadow of a doubt. That's what I believe. I've always believed it. Touching a child, putting your hands on a woman, taking something away from her that didn't belong to you, I've always believed the death penalty is an appropriate punishment for that. Because you don't deserve to live. You don't deserve to breathe. And I don't believe those ones who participated in that act, if they have a cell phone, right, that means they're smart enough to know this cell phone, right, has a radio signal that, can reach another phone device, right? And then they can talk to somebody live. If they are smart enough to that, they should be smart enough to know that raping someone is inhuman. I believe all rapists should be eliminated from the planet Earth. I truly believe that. I have no respect, no remorse for them. And as an African, I will never back that up or pretend like that shit ain't happening. As a matter of fact, I'm glad somebody recorded it. I'm glad this shit getting put out in the open, because there's a lot of shit that happens in Africa that needs to stop. It ain't just Europeans doing this shit, right? It ain't just Asians doing this shit. Africans got shit they do too. Human beings are human beings at the end of the day, right? And human beings tend to do some fucked up shit when they can get away with it. And I'm glad that these motherfuckers didn't get away with it this time, right? Because it's a heartbreaking thing to see, right? Like, how are you going to have a festival with the shit? Now, I've been all around the world and I've seen some shit. This is not the worst shit I've seen, all right? In Afghanistan, they don't even need a festival for this shit. They just do it to boys, all right? Oh, some of y'all Catholics, you have a whole religion that does this shit with their festivals and their ceremonies. If you're a Christian, your pastor, all right, is doing this to the little boys in the church, all right? If you're Jewish, shit, there's a program. If you're a goddamn pedophile, shit, you can go ahead and get a first-class ticket to Israel and live there, and then go assault little boys in Israel, huh? You Arabs in them goddamn holy worship places, your imams got the little boys sucking their little penis. So listen, no group of people on the planet can isolate this and say, oh, look what those specific Africans have done. This is some human shit. And no matter what color you are, where you from, if you do shit like this, you don't deserve to breathe. And that's just what it is. Now, Nigeria has a problem, right? And that problem is due to the infiltration of Christianity and Islam. It does. And the problem is Christianity and Islam and an influx of European influence has caused a level of misogyny that did not exist before they came. And that level of misogyny says, I'm a man and I can do anything I want to a woman, because a woman is a second-class citizen. You see, true African culture and spirituality and tradition puts the African woman next to the African man. But you see, a lot of these people done got away from that shit because of the Europeans telling them, no, you're a man, you're better than that woman. Or the Islamist people say, you're a man, you're better than that woman. All these Abrahamic religions have spoiled a lot of Africa, just like it spoiled a lot of the rest of the world, right? So yeah, this Ozoro thing is horrible, but I'm glad to see that the authorities are doing something about it now that they know about it. You got to understand, Delta State is a whole nother place. It's a very beautiful place, by the way. Delta State Delta State, and it's got a lot of oil too. There's a lot of shit going on around there. All right, it's a very rich state, but they don't get to keep their shit because the white folks been stealing it for a long time. All right, and that's another issue. That's a lot of bandits, and there's a lot of complicated shit out there. Where there's money, there's problems, right? But as a Pan-African, I'm appalled, right? But as a Pan-African, I'm in a world traveler and a person who's been in the real world. I've seen appalling things in every country. Appalling things happen in every country. All right, you know how they say Chicago ain't shit because of that one place where you got dumb-ass barbarians who still just decide they want to kill each other over streets they don't belong to them? Well, if I was on the outside and I said, you know what? Don't go to America because all America is like that one place in Chicago. Or what if I said, by Johns Hopkins University in Baltimore, you see all those crackheads on that street? That's all of America. Look at America. Look at them crackheads in America. Right? So I can plaster all of America with just Baltimore and Chicago. That's exactly what white people do, by the way. Keep that in mind. That's what they do, because those are prominent black areas. So they go to the worst parts, talk about that, and make that look like it's the whole place. The same way FBA is now using, they couldn't wait. They was happy about this shit. Instead of just being regular appalled as a human being, they're jumping on it like, see, look at Nigeria, look at them Africans, look at their priorities is to, instead of addressing how egregious this is as a human being, instead they want to use this as ammo to further talk shit about Africans to reinforce to why they're not African. While not talking about, since they are foundational black Americans, why the foundation of America is being ran by a bunch of pedophile Jewish people, right, who do exactly this on a regular basis for hundreds of years. But they don't have a problem with that. That's okay. Let's not talk about that. Let's talk about those Africans over there in Africa. Let's talk about that bad thing that's happening over there, because that's more important. That's the priority, right? So that's my issue with those people. I'm doing this video because I'm an African American in Nigeria, and just like you, I'm appalled. Just like the rest of Nigerians are appalled. Anybody should be appalled when you see shit like this. And the shit needs to change. In order for Nigeria to elevate itself, it needs more systems. It needs more boots on the ground as far as police, detectives, their own version of FBI and CIA, because they have them, but they're underfunded, right? And they don't have enough recruits to cover this vast landscape. There's not enough development to where you have structures to cover this shit in Nigeria. So that's why I say, if you're a woman, right? If you're a woman, coming here by yourself can be dangerous, because outside of America, right? Whether you go to Asia, to Europe, or Africa, depending on where you go, you might be in some kind of danger, because there's a lot of miseducation out here, and there's a lot of stupid people in the world. You got to understand, an uneducated person is dumb. All terrorists are stupid. All of them. All terrorists are uneducated morons who are easily susceptible to anybody that's just smart enough to manipulate them to do things unbecoming of a human being. Anti-intellectualness. That's what religion does. It keeps you stupid, right? They say, here, read from this book, and your whole life should be based around what's in this book. Don't worry about who wrote it. Don't worry about if it's true. Have faith, right? And because I'm the one who taught you this book, or I can read because I'm literate and you're not illiterate, I'm going to tell you what it says. Do what I say. I'm in charge. God said so, right? MAGA is the same way, right? Idiots. And look how dangerous that has become. A bunch of dumbasses who believe that they are Christian, even though they don't display any Christian-like attributes, because of the things that they've done when they went in there and vote for a known pedophile. Keep in mind, our president is a pedophile. So as long as our president is a pedophile, as long as the cabinet are a bunch of pedophile murdering killers, as long as our chief of defense of war is a drunkard pedophile, right? Then we can't say anything about anybody. We have a government of rapists currently running the country and destroying the world and killing kids and killing families and blowing up hospitals and doing stuff like that. So we can't talk and judge as if our shit ain't the stinkiest shit on the planet, right? But that doesn't excuse these Nigerians, these Delta State Nigerians, these Azorians. It don't excuse that shit. And they should be prosecuted at the full extent of Nigeria's law. And that's just the truth. It's sad. But no, the good thing about this day and age is now everybody can see it. Everybody can see that shit now. Right? And let me make an announcement for all Nigerians watching me now. I don't know if you know, but I was going to make a separate video about this, but I might as well put it in this one because I'm sure a lot of y'all are going to watch to see what the hell I got to say. The federal government of Nigeria just passed a law. It is okay and it is legal for you to record the police. You can record their name. You can record, not the military. You can record the police. So when you are in those buses, you're in those cars, and you roll up to a police checkpoint, go ahead and bust out your camera and dare the police officer to tell you can't record. You keep on recording. Matter of fact, you should go live. That way, if they try to snatch your phone, the data's already online wherever you want to go. TikTok. All of y'all make it a practice to bust your phone out when the police are there, so you can show if that police officer is doing his goddamn job or if he's trying to take money from the driver. Everybody's camera should be sitting, looking on the side where the driver and the police officers are doing whatever they say. Everybody's phone should be pointing at that police officer to see if any money was exchanged. And y'all make sure y'all zoom in on the goddamn name too. And you make sure you blast that shit on the internet. Some of us need to be embarrassed. Nigeria and some of his government officials need to be embarrassed. Nigeria and some of them police officers need to be embarrassed. Some of these people practicing barbaric practices need to be embarrassed. They need to be blasted across the world because the only way it's going to change and when there's enough public pressure to make something happen. Because if ain't nobody saying nothing about it, ain't nothing going to change. If nobody say nothing and they just keep letting this shit happen, ain't nothing ever going to change. Now, is it? Now, Nigerians are very prideful people. And right now, they know they taking hits. Because they know there's groups of people out here that have been waiting for some fucked up shit to happen in Nigeria so they can say, ha, you see? Hey, look, Nigerians going to have to take this one on the chin. That's just the truth. Take this one on the chin. This shit is real. It's happening. Women are not as safe as they should be in Nigeria. Because you got a bunch of people, savage barbarians running the country. You got a bunch of uneducated Western puppets running the country. They're not the smartest people in the room, but they own the room. Just like in America. We got the dumbest, stupidest people running the country. They own the fucking room. They're not the smartest, but they own the room. And that's the same thing goes for many other places. Shit. You know what happens in Japan and China? Huh? You know what happens? You know what government officials do to women in Japan and China? If they want to get a job, especially in China, you know what you got? You better break down if you're a woman. Shit ain't safe over there either. Y'all don't understand how dangerous the world is outside of America. America's fucked up, right? But you got to understand, outside of America, the rest of the world is pretty fucked up, especially when it comes to women. All right? I'm trying to tell you, African Americans have created the greatest environment for females on the planet. Our fight for liberation created an environment where women are the most safe. And even in that safe environment, they still ain't safe. Not as safe as they should be. We underutilize our greatest resources, which is our females, which is our women. They have minds too. They have great ideas and thoughts, right? But because of misogyny, because of misogyny and idiots who got power and money because of the leverage they got because of, you know, several hundred years of free labor with zero overhead, because of savage barbaric greed. They're in charge. They got everything. They make all the rules. Right? So it's a terrible thing. And like I said, I hope every one of them gets sent to Russia to fight in the Ukraine war and none of them come back. Anybody responsible for a festival, that should have been the last one. That shit should never exist again. Some festival. That's not culture. That's not something to celebrate. Now, I can surmise that probably in history as a historian, if you go way back, it might have been a festival of fertility where you go along and you find a woman and I can surmise that it's probably gotten more extreme over the years. Shit, there's a goddamn in some place in Africa, I forgot. I think the Fulanis do this. One of the subgroups of Fulanis do this, where they kidnap each other. They'll kidnap a woman, right? I think the Roma do that shit in Europe. The Roma do it too. They'll kidnap, literally, you go and you snatch a goddamn woman that you want. And if you keep her for a certain, I forgot, y'all, hey, if y'all know about this, I seen a documentary on it too. And if you want to marry a woman, if you want to keep a woman, you literally kidnap her, right? And take her somewhere. And then the family of the kidnap, when they find out, they're literally coming to they got to come find you. If they don't find you, you get to keep her. This shit happens in Europe. There's all kind of weird marriage, fertility type things. There's the goddamn Fulanis, the ones who in the desert, they meet up sometimes and they steal each other's wives and shit. And that's part of the tradition. And motherfuckers are down. Like, you know what I'm saying? In Europe, motherfucker, you snatch somebody's woman, you trying to, shit happens, right? Even though it's tradition, ain't like people like it. It's just what they do, right? So there's a lot of traditions, things we call traditions on festivals or ceremonies where women are being taken advantage of. A lot, right? So we just got to keep it all in perspective that as humanity, we have not progressed as much as we should. Education is the key. First, we got to be de-educated by this white Western and this Islamic shit. I'm telling you, that's the worst shit that ever happened to us. These Abrahamic religions, all of them. Because all of them practice raping boys and girls as a tradition on a regular basis. And they all get away with it. All of them. As we can see in present time. So yeah, it's horrible, man. And I wish they all be deleted expeditiously. I hope when they go to jail, I hope somebody in jail meets them and do the same thing to them that they were attempting to do to them girls, right? Because there's no excuse for it. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you're from. No culture, no tradition justifies taking advantage of putting your hands on a woman that don't want to be touched. And that's just what it is. So that's me. This is the safest way I can cover it, right? It's terrible, and I need Nigeria to do better. Nigeria needs to step into the 21st century with this shit. They got to invest in their safety and security. They got to invest in a lot of shit. If they want people to come here and respect them, they got to deal with this shit in-house. They just going to have to. If not, shit just going to keep on being what it is. And that's just what it is. All right? Anyway, that's all I got to say. It's Afro Think Tank. Learn some, teach some. I'm out.
Raping and molesting women is not part of any Nigerian culture or tradition. Let me just put that out there. It is not part of any of our cultures or traditions in Nigeria. Nonetheless, that is exactly what is happening in the Ozoro community in Delta State right now. There is a culture of going out and, do you understand, attached to the Ozoro festival, which was not the original intention. The men of today or the men of how many years ago have suddenly decided they want to be going out and raping and assaulting and molesting women in the name of some absurd part of culture. This is not part of our culture. But as I said, nonetheless, it is still happening and we need to be made aware about it. I don't know why I'm not seeing more Nigerian male content creators speaking about this. When women complain that men are, do you guys come and not all men? Yet when something like this happens, the men don't take a firm position to condemn the other men and set themselves aside, say, this is not what we are doing. I'm not seeing any guys talking about this. Do you understand? To the women who have, I apologize and I'm sincerely sorry to any woman who's experienced anything like this. please try your best to hold those responsible accountable. Another thing we suffer in Nigeria is that people don't do what they're supposed to do when things like this happen. When something like this happens, it's terrible. But if you are a woman who's been through this, or you know a woman who's been through this, try your best to push and hold everybody accountable. Push it to the highest level. I've just seen a video of the OV of Delta, the king of Delta, seriously lamenting and condemning those in his court about the situation that is happening, saying that many people have been trying to get in contact with him to understand what is happening in his community, and understandably all eyes are on him because of what is happening. Do you understand? We are all, I'm not in Nigeria, but I've heard about this. Somebody messaged me, somebody commented on one of my videos saying you need to talk about this, so I'm talking about this. Please try and raise awareness if you can, because the situation on ground right now is very dire for women in Nigeria. Do you understand? And this is a culture that we need to change. Ozoro or no Ozoro, there is a culture of violence and just reprehensible behavior towards women in Africa that we need to change. South Africa had their own movement going on last year. The purple picture is still very much a thing. We need to end violence against women in Nigeria. We need to end violence against women in Africa. Do you understand?
There's nothing like a rape festival. Let's not do that. There's nothing like a rape festival. What there is the Opote festival in the southern part of Nigeria, Delta State, Ozoro community to be precise. And this festival is usually for, you know how festivals get honoring elders, ancestors, community bonding. There may be rituals. Festivals is a cultural heritage, is a cultural interpretation, a cultural display. What happened yesterday is a group of hooligans, criminals, lowlifes, people majoring on nudity that hijacked the culture of the Deltans and degraded it to a series of criminal acts. I'm not a Deltan, but oh, I love clarity. I love clarity. So if with the occurrence of what has happened yesterday, I want people to understand that it's not in the tradition of the Deltans to rape their women when they come out in a way to disobey the culture. That's just what I want us to understand. Now, as to the people that committed this act, I mean, where are the days when criminals were fed to lions? Let's feed animals to animals. Because you cannot tell me, I saw the videos. You cannot tell me that you would grab a lady off a motorcycle and rape her, tear her clothes off her because she came out in. That's not a festival. Everybody that stood and watched should be arrested. The rapists themselves should have their genitals connected to a moving vehicle and dragged to pieces. The people that defended the rapist should be flogged till they bleed the last drop of their blood. Because you cannot, in recent times, or maybe they should be subjected to the same rape, you know. Get the people that raped these ladies to rape these men that are doing this nonsense, apologizing and saying that, oh, but it's a tradition. It's a lie, it's not tradition. You are a wicked person supporting wicked acts. I don't know what the security outfit is doing in Delta State. I'm hearing that 4 persons have been arrested. Are you saying 4? The videos I saw, it was a plethora of people, of men, constituting mayhem, raining down chaos on women. And you say 4 persons have been arrested? Let's do better.
When I started, I told you that I was never informed. Because when problems started happening, they called me immediately. That's yesterday. I called him. And he responded.
So report wey reaching us be say the community head and the chief organizer of the event wey go by the name our Gen Z papa chief Omorode Sunday with other 4 people wey dey behind this nonsense wey happen yesterday. So they don hack up dem, they cage dem like this, like okporoko wey dem dey tie like say I wan go throw away for inside evil forest area. This news e sweet me the way I dey say jejejejeje, na so the news take sweet me for my conscience. I tell una say this thing wey dey happen for Ozoro, e never happen before. The festival don dey go on for very long time. This kind event never happen. E no clear, but now e go clear, everything go make full. So I don carry the latest gist come give una. Yes, I don carry the ogbonge news come dash una this morning. So report wey reaching us be say the community head and the chief organizer of the event wey go by the name our Gen Z papa chief Omorode Sunday with other 4 people wey dey behind this nonsense wey happen yesterday. So they don hack up dem, they cage dem like this, like okporoko wey dem dey tie like say I wan go throw away for inside evil forest. Yes, when they say when your cup go full, when it go full remain they go throway am, na so they want say throway them for prison. So the CP say make they carry them go state CID with immediate effect. I'ma just use this message tell una, those of una wey gather una strength, una mind, where they go grave the girls. So CP say they come for now, there's nowhere to hide. You dey hear, nemesis go catch up with una when I feel say una face not show where, so they not fit catch una. Only una conscience. When I say they great people, they tear their shirt, they pluck their breasts, they pluck their orange, they bling. Una mind dress na men evil, they go so catch una. More na just calm down. Now hear me so. Now waiting na better happen because get see me cut here now. The news sweet me for body. Be like Fanta and sugar, they mix together. I can't drink, I take digest. More na like, comment and more na share. If una get 1 or 2 things, so still up. Now let me know.
Update on the Graping Festival going on in Nigeria and questions. 1, where is it happening? It's happening in a state called Delta State in Nigeria, in a community called Ozoro community. 2, who organized this? It actually is a cultural and traditional thing. So it has been going on for years and the women have accepted it, and they know that every year for 7 days, they have a Graping Festival and they have to hide, lock themselves up in their houses. 3, that place is a college town. So they have a university in that state, and people who go there from different parts of the country and don't know about this, they fall victims to these things. 4, it has actually been hidden and kept as a secret and was not supposed to blow up like this until there were leaked messages from WhatsApp, and then people put it on Twitter. And then I said I had to spread awareness on TikTok. 5, the only thing that has been done right now is they arrested 4 people that were apparently the organizers of this. That's the community leaders. And the only reason why it is getting any kind of attention is because people are talking about it. If not, nobody will get arrested. None of the men who perpetrated these things have been arrested.
Many of you almost blocked me because you thought I was blaming the women of Ozoro. I wasn't. Let me clarify. Before the festival even started, warnings circulated through community channels, through WhatsApp. Not to the women necessarily, but through the community's own infrastructure. The point isn't that every woman received the warning. The point is that the people that were running the festival knew how dangerous it was, and the solution wasn't to stop it, was to make the women disappear. That is a choice, a deliberate, organized, institutional choice. So when I say the system is working, I'm not saying that women knew and they stayed silent. What I'm saying is the people in charge had a management strategy, and the strategy is for women to be absent. Make yourself small, make yourself invisible. And if this happens to you, you should have stayed inside. And that is not cultural tradition, that is a protection racket. 5 people have been arrested, the government has condemned this, and I am glad. But I need you to notice something. The condemnation only happened after it went viral on TikTok, after this became embarrassing internationally. The question isn't why did this happen, it's that how many years has this gone on for and nobody had to answer for it? How many women have had to rearrange their lives for a festival that had no place existing? And how many times did this management strategy work because the women have complied because they had no other choice? Gender-based violence isn't always loud. Sometimes it's an institution that knows exactly what it's doing by building the silence from the start.
Hello everyone. I'm sure we have seen the issue that's been happening, the festival happening in Ozoro, Delta State, Nigeria, where there is a culture or a practice where for 7 good days, that's a whole week, they say they are celebrating a festival where women are not advised to come outdoors, and if you come out, you would be harassed, assaulted, or you will be raped. Now, my problem with this is that this is something that's been happening for generations. And as an activist or somebody who is so passionate about females, it is very disturbing that this was even created in the first place. And the fact is that we still keep coming back to the conversation of the fact that females are not angry enough. Let's be frank, we are not angry enough, because this kind of act should have been condemned from the very beginning. It should never have even been allowed to happen, because these are women or females who would need to go out and make a living. They are the ones providing for the families. They are the ones putting food on the table, because some so-called gender who claim that they are the providers actually don't even do the actual work. This one, you come for me. I'm here for you people. Now, not to mar the whole thing and make it look like I'm the quote-unquote bitter, angry feminist as I've always been, which I'm proud of course. I am here to have this conversation because we have made the matter normalized. We have normalized rape as a culture. We have normalized assault and harassment and abuse as part of us. It's not normal, because explain to me why something like this has happened and you can still see individuals defending these barbaric acts, and you keep thinking about the fact that this is a father, this is a nephew, this is a brother, this is a uncle who definitely has females as family members, and you are thinking about it, you are trying to wrap your head around it. It's not making sense. So please, I want to put this out to everybody. Where we are, of course, where I am, I will always relate it to where I am. Are we angry enough about the fact that there are more than 200 defilement cases currently in the DOFSO office that have been stalled or stopped because of insufficient evidence, unnecessary begging and pleading from community members and chiefs? Yes, these are cases that should have been handled and cleared a long time ago, but they are stuck at that office because somebody decided that being a family is more important than seeking justice for a survivor. Now, I'm not here to condemn, I'm not here to shout, I'm not here to talk plenty. But what I want to pass my message across, or what I want to say, is that when I start talking and when I start making my points, if I see one single person that comes to say rubbish or nonsense, I am here for you people, because honestly, I've been kind enough, I've been smiling enough. What is bad is bad. What should be condemned should be condemned. This kind of thing should not be happening in 2026. And for those who think that it cannot happen in your environment, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It can, and it probably might. It probably has been happening. But you have decided that because the fire is not in your house, it's not your business. Well, for me, as a mother, as a female, as a feminist, it is my business. And I will let everybody know categorically that anybody who tries to support this rubbish, we will come for you. We will make sure we will not just come for you in votes. We will come for you with evidence and facts. Because trust me, females, we're not angry enough.
It is all men. It is all men. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to what's been happening right now in Nigeria and the Delta State. That Ozoro festival, the fertility festival, where you have grown men and even young male boys going out in the streets and grabbing girls to grape them. The men that are the leaders. Where you guys at? Where you guys at? Because growing up, all we heard as women is that it is our job to cook, to clean, and to bear children. That is the one and sole purpose that we serve as women. And we were told that men get to go around and do debauchery because they are men, because they are protectors, because they are leaders. Where are the leaders? Where are the leaders? Nowhere to be seen. Do you think that President Tinubu will make a statement about this? Of course not. Of course not. Of course not. Because we do not have a culture of accountability. And every time I bring this up, you always have the Nigerians that will come over and try to chastise me simply because you hear me having an American accent. You want to attack me, even though I'm Nigerian. You want to come and attack me for trying to raise accountability in our culture instead of holding those accountable for their horrible and demonic acts. Nigerian culture, we don't care about women. Stop. And you want to know where this all comes from? Your Bibles, your religions. Because if you can sit and justify passages where your precious King David can go around and rape, and you can still justify that in your churches, you can still read your scripture about how it's okay to give up your daughters, your wives as sacrifices to be raped and molested. This festival that's happening is nothing. It's God's plan. God has a plan. God has a plan. This is nasty. This is disgusting. This is nasty. This is disgusting. My heart goes out to the women that have currently and have in the past suffered such demonic acts. And the worst part of it is they won't get the help they need. They won't get the help they need. Why were you outside? Why did you go outside? Why did you decide to wear this? Instead of going and finding those demonic things that you call men out in the streets doing what they're doing. But you guys would much rather go and blame the quote unquote lesser being that lead us accountable. Nigeria will never prosper. Hear me now. Nigeria will never prosper until they do well by women.
There is no such thing as grabbing festival in Ozoro, Delta State. I was born and raised in Ozoro, and I've never heard of anything like that. I mean, who brought this? Who started it? It's all lies, guys. It's all lies. Stop making excuses for men. Men, they love making excuses after doing what is not good. Men, una be animal. When I see the video, I just diverse. So, guys, I just woke up this morning. I was at work. I woke up this morning, and I saw people sending me videos, which I saw yesterday, but I'm like, I don't even have the big platform to talk about it, to explain better. So I kept quiet. I made a statement, and if you see the way they rush me, so I can just drop back, say, I beg, I don't get strength at all. But waking up this morning and people sending me the videos on my Instagram page, I'm like, okay, I think I need to talk about this. So please make sure you send it to people. Let them know the truth. So here is the story, guys. I had to call my mom this morning, and my mom explained in details. And those guys, they have been arrested in Ozoro community. They have been arrested, guys. Yes, they are doing a festival. I think that was what my mom said. She says a remote festival before a request festival. And these guys are, these Yahoo boys now, when I get here, when they crazy hair. So they were passing by, crowd of boys, they were passing by where they were doing the festival, the Eriomo festival. And according to my mom, she said if they are doing the festival, a woman who has been married without a child will not come out for the festival. But obviously, they want to come out because it comes with blessings. So when such woman comes out, people, not even men, it's even fellow women like her, they'll be playing with her. Olden days, and my mom, according to my mom, she said it used to work a lot, but a lot of people stopped it. They don't even do it anymore. But olden days, if you be married and you don't have a child and they are doing the Eremo festival, you will come out. So your fellow compound women will come around, they'll be playing with you. Like, they will pour sand on your body, they will fall you on the ground, they will say, today, they'll just be hopping on top like that. So today you must get pregnant. You must get pregnant today. Eremo must bless you. After this, you get, my mom said, funny enough, anytime such happens to those women, after some months, they get pregnant. So that festival, it brings luck, to women who has been in their marriage home without a child. It kind of brings luck, blessing, So I'm surprised. Where is this story coming from? Who started it? Who started this thing? I'm confused here. Because after this festival is Eriope's festival. My dad is from there. That's where my dad is from. Eriope festival is Ozoro festival, When I was growing up, I've heard there used to be a big tree in my father's compound. That is Eriope's tree. A very massive Iroko tree. If you see this tree when I was younger, oh my God, the branches, that's what they spread. But they cut it off. I don't know why. Christianity came in and then they cut it off. And people are not really serving this Eriope the way they used to serve it in my village. Yeah, so people still serve it. So that Eriope's festival, so that Eremos festival was done by, these people that serve you, they are still doing it. They still do all those festivals. But a lot of people, because they are not Christians, they don't do it anymore.
Madam Kotonu,
I come on, finish my life.
This video children about your food, Madam Kotonu.
They sent me video, so I'm telling you that I've asked my mom about the festival. My mom explained to me in detail, so it's not what they are saying. So Ozoro doesn't have any festival where they allow people to rape guests. No!
Kotonu, madam, they rape guests for Ozoro. Yeah, now.
No. Come on, finish my life. So guys, before my husband interrupted, what was I saying? So that is it. There is nothing like grabbing festival that you will have to rape girls. And as for the guys, they have been arrested. They have been arrested, and I'm really sorry. I'm very, very sorry that something like that happened to this girl. This particular girl, my mom said this girl went to one hotel. I don't know if it's Pinto's hotel. I've been wanting. I don't know. She called one hotel name. So the girl and her boyfriend, according to the story, they said the girl is engaged to the boy, right? So they were coming out from the hotel. They held their hands, and those stupid boys then, those Yahoo boys then, whether they pass front of where they do the juju, whether they do the festival, the Urimu festival, the person juju person, they serve juju. Let me say herbalist, yes. So they pass there for cry. Maybe they asked too, they tell them. They don't understand. So I think it's kind of misinformation. They didn't understand what they told them. They did not say go and be raping girls. Maybe they asked, what kind of festival you are doing? Maybe they explain, just the way my mom explained. And those get boys, when they say they don't correct, they don't crazy, they don't mad before. Boom, the entire crowd dragged this girl, and then they started harassing this girl. I don't even know if they raped her. I really don't know. Men, they be like dog. I have never seen it. Even animals, they don't behave like this. Which animal you don't see when they crowd one female animal just to rape them? Which animal I don't see? Which animal? So why so men they behave like animals? Why? Why? I'm really so sorry for this girl right now. This girl should be, yes, this girl should be traumatized. This girl should be depressed. And I think she needs our help, guys. So guys, please send this video to Tunde Enot. He can actually make an awareness because of his platform. Please, if there is any way Tunde Enot can help, let people help these girls. I know Nigeria is difficult right now. The economy is down. But if there is any way we can help, because abroad here, UK, they know they play with I am depressed, I am traumatized. Nigerians, they don't know these things. UK, they don't play with it. Thank you.
Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! We most definitely cannot forget about the people of Sudan!
Thanks for watching Afro Think Tank. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow me on Substack and Patreon for more content. Remember, it's Pan-Africanism or nothing.